Good evening and welcome to Stupid O'Clock News. I'm Lewis Lee. Being one of the richest men in the world doesn't mean you're popular. In fact, it can often lead to envy, resentment, and jealousy. Such is the case for Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon and commercial spaceflight company Blue Origin. Next month, Bezos is scheduled to fly aboard one of his New Shepard space capsules on a suborbital flight. He will fly with his brother Mark and two unnamed passengers who won their seats in a bidding war. Now comes the resentment. Change.org is currently hosting a petition calling for Bezos to not return to Earth after his flight. The petition jokingly urges potential signers that, quote, the fate of humanity is in your hands, end quote. In fact, some who have signed the petition have also recommended that Bezos bring along Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg as passengers. That's the news. Let's start the show.
Good night, everybody.
Every bit of that is true.
Oh,
Weird.
well,
Crowded airlock.
I actually saw a video to where Zuckerberg got, I don't know if he told on himself or just had a Freudian slip or whatever, but he goes, I was human at one time. He goes, no, I am human. You know, I was younger, and the more he said, the worse it got.
Just digging himself deeper.
Yeah.
That ought to be reposted everywhere across the internet.
You can't post it to Facebook. It's apparently blocked.
There's lots of other social media out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
send it to Al Jazeera.
Yeah, YouTube, it's all over YouTube.
Hey, don't knock Al Jazeera. They're one of the better news agencies.
Yeah, they really are.
Okay?
No, I know. That's why I said that. Al Jazeera and BBC
Terrorism
World
you can
News.
trust.
Yeah, better than you can trust the two major things
Yeah,
that
as
we've
opposed
got
to
here.
terrorism, you can't trust.
I trust local news a hell of a lot more than I trust the network shit.
So how's everybody doing tonight? I know Joe fell and hurt his back because he's old.
Yeah, I'm dumb.
No, you just depended on a styrofoam stepping stone.
Yeah.
Not my stepping stone. That was a monkey's hit, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and a very good one at that.
Yeah.
Can we find a copy of that for the show tonight? No.
No, we can't because Michael has not given me permission to use it. So, and it would actually take his
His number,
signature.
call him.
Nesmith or
No,
Dorn?
no.
There's
Huh?
two of them.
Both?
Nesmith or Dorn?
Oh no. Mickey and Michael both. They're the only ones left. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Yep, sadly.
Yeah. Well, we all get old. Look at me. You wouldn't think I was 7,000 years old, but I apparently am.
Well, I want to say hello to everybody. We got two people tuned in on one person on Dan's page and one on one of the Stupid O'Clock pages and one on my page.
There you go.
Our Twitch user hasn't showed up. Of course, I guess one of them is John Scarborough tuned in.
Hey. I always monitor that one. So.
Which one are you? The Stupid O'Clock?
Yeah, one of them. The main one. The one right next to the HallowCon icon.
Okay.
Well,
For those of you who don't know, okay, when you have a control board, you can add whatever Facebooks and YouTubes and Twitters and Twitches and witches and all the things that rhyme with ditches. And you can put all those, and you can see all of it. And Joe right now has 8 of them up here that I can see. And I try to pick one to monitor it just so I can make comments. Or that sort of. And he keeps adding them. So.
Well, I gave him permission to add my 3. So yeah, it's okay. It's no big deal. So
I heard a great joke this week.
Why are we on Armchair Rocket Science? We're not supposed to be on Armchair Rocket Science.
Are we not?
No.
Not
Are we
for
not launching
this.
a rocket? Did you leave it up from the last launch?
I don't know why it did that. Let me go ahead and pull that down.
Yeah, go
I was
ahead.
thinking
Yeah,
there were too many of those up there.
yeah. You're going to have to go back into the archives for ARS and delete that one. What actually managed to be recorded?
I got the Rocketeer up here. We can keep it on Armchair.
Nah.
You've got the satellite thing, the tracking station. So.
Hey, David Bowie's sending me texts.
All right. Okay, I guess I was on Stupid O'Clock. The pictures changed for some reason. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Good question. I see two of them that have the same icon. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't understand that either myself.
One's a HallowCon, and you got two HallowCons up. You got a Joe McNeil HallowCon.
Oh, one of them.
And a HallowCon.
One of the HallowCons might be the Twitch thing. I'm not sure. I haven't
No,
looked at
those are
that.
both Facebooks.
Oh well. Oh.
Let me see. We do have one Twitch that is a HallowCon. And then we got two YouTubes. One is Stupid O'Clock, HallowCon Stupid O'Clock. And the other one's Dan Hollifield's HallowCon Stupid O'Clock. And then, you see how confusing this is getting, folks? And here is the Stupid O'Clock HallowCon.
I can't believe Carlene and Carl hadn't dropped in yet.
Well, that's true. They might be busy doing something.
Wait a minute. We got to call them. We got to call them using a mystic potion.
Bloody Mary.
Yeah. They'll show up now.
If you say it 3 times, a bartender will bring you one.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Man, I'm trying to. I think it was Sunday. Denise and I went to Dave and Buster's for the first time, and we actually had a good time. We ordered food and we played some games, and she had ordered a Cajun shrimp dip that was really, really good, and I kind of wish I had ordered it. I ordered a hamburger. So anyway, last night we decided we wanted to go back and just get the shrimp dip. We were both going to order the shrimp dip, and we get there and we put in our name. They said it'd be about a 10-15 minute wait. So I went ahead and charged up my card. We went and played some games. By the way, I played the axe throw game.
Mm-hmm.
Got 2 bullseyes, dude.
All right.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, but it's plastic axes into it wasn't the real axe into wood, right?
I have access to a real axe. Would you like to see my accuracy, my friend?
I'll trust you.
Okay. So anyway, we wound up playing games for a half an hour, and I keep waiting, to get the text from the maitre d' to sit down. So finally, we went and we said, "Do you have the table for Lee ready yet?" "Oh, yes, sir." "Well, you didn't text me," and I'm reading her mind. She says, "Well, you wouldn't have kept putting money in my pocket in the games if I had."
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we sat down and we placed our order. No shrimp dip; they were out.
Oh.
So the one thing that we went there for, we weren't even going to play any games. They were out of it.
Look up the recipe online.
I'm pretty good.
Think I'm kidding. Give Google.
I'm pretty good at reverse engineering recipes. I could probably figure it out, but it's just so much nicer when somebody else makes it for you.
Oh,
And then you don't have to clean up after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
they even clean the table off for you
Yeah.
and do the dishes.
Oh,
Well,
that was
that's
too
worth the
easy
price
right
of
there.
admission right there.
What do you
Got
mean?
it fast, huh? I mean, it's basically just, butter and cheese and shrimp.
Okay, they got a Cajun shrimp Alfredo.
Dave and Buster's?
Yes.
Sounds intriguing.
Keeps trying to give me the Alfredo recipe.
Alfredo, isn't that just cheese?
No, it's the Alfredo noodles with the cheese. Yeah, it has cheese in it too. But
Basically, an Alfredo sauce is just butter and cheese and cream.
cream, yeah.
You
It's either
take
butter or
equal parts butter and cream, and you just cook that until it starts to thicken, and then you throw in a big handful of grated Parmesan cheese and
shredded. Yeah.
That's Alfredo sauce.
You can use butter, clarified butter, olive oil. There's a lot of ways to make it, but
Yeah, you don't want to use the olive oil though.
Lewis is
Makes it
telling
too
you
heavy.
the good way.
Yeah.
So, in other words, Alfredo sauce is not for the lactose intolerant.
correct.
Yeah, well, neither is about half the desserts I make. Anything that calls for half a brick of Philadelphia cream cheese is not for the lactose intolerant, let me tell you.
I make a mean crab dip. Let me say. Okay. So, I heard a good joke this week. Apparently,
Well, if it really is good, let's pass it along.
Hold on a minute. Let me get the good night, everybody, queued up. Okay.
Apparently, President Joe Biden has a Vimeo account. Are y'all familiar with Vimeo at all?
Yeah.
Vimeo, yes, I'm a professional.
Vimeo, thank you. And apparently, he has a Vimeo account, and people are shocked they didn't know you could do Vimeo on a rotary phone.
But
I knew that was going to be necessary, but I didn't know it was going to be that one.
That just made it even better.
Oh.
My uncle is being interred at the Chattanooga National Cemetery on Monday, 10 o'clock. And I was going to ask Lewis if he knew about this. Apparently, they built this mausoleum type thing. I think it's called an honorarium.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the exact term.
If you're cremated, you get a little vault.
Right. There's a little vault just for the cremates.
Yeah.
And he's going to be interred in that.
Okay.
And apparently, it's a pretty cool. I have not seen it yet.
Yeah. Well, you know where the huge pavilion is in the back? Sure. With the arch, it looks like the Arc de Triomphe.
All I've ever done is drive by around the outside. I've never actually been on the grounds.
Wow. I performed probably on the order of 200 funerals there.
I've done a few funerals, but all mine were in weird places, like, middle of nowhere, where they'd have like a national, or not a national, they'd have a military cemetery with like 15 people buried in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see it around. You can see it around if you come in around Central Avenue.
Right. You
can see it from that side.
Yeah, but anyway, from that big pavilion, I cannot remember what they call it.
Yeah,
it's the mausoleum's to the left, or the honorarium.
All right.
So it would be north of there.
I apologize for being late.
Oh, don't worry about it, Scum. Don't worry about it at all.
There's this thing out there called real life that occasionally inflicts itself.
Oh, this was complete BS. I was playing Among Us.
That's real life.
We just had a round that went really, really long because basically Among Us. If you guys didn't hear about this, Among Us updated from 10 to 15 players. So you can now have 15 players on a server instead of 10.
Hi, Brian.
And because of that, the games go a little bit longer than you expect. So I had a game that I thought was only going to go a few minutes, ended up going it was like 20 minutes or something like that. It's ridiculous. And I literally, while I was in the middle of the round, actually looked down at the clock and went, "Oh my God, it's 11. Like it's 11 right now. I got to be on this live show." And then everybody I was playing with was all like, please link me to the live show. And I was like, I will not be doing that because I know you people and you're all sociopaths.
Really? You can watch it, but you're not going to be part of it. We got enough sociopaths on here.
You can
I
watch.
don't even want to invite them to comment. They're all something awful goons and they're lunatics. I mean, literally, the sidebar of this chat, if I link people to this stream, the sidebar of this chat would get filled with so many things that I don't want anyone.
They can't be any worse than these people or those people.
Now,
They're something
Now,
awful goons. Don't tempt them. They will push the. I'm not. You know what? I'm just gonna let it go. I'm not gonna say any more.
What you're saying is Uncle Carl would kick them out of the green room.
Uncle Carl. Yeah, I don't think Uncle Carl could handle the humor. Well.
He can handle the humor, but
I think Uncle Carl would get along with the goons just fine. I think Uncle Carl would kick them out of the secret humor group. That's what I think, because I think they would get too many complaints. Because goons can be like that. Goons can be like that. I've been a member of the Something Awful forums for a long time, and I've noticed that goons can be mean. They like to roast.
Well, when I played Among Us, people would get mad at me when I became the bad guy. I wouldn't kill people. I'd run around like I was doing
tasks,
and I wouldn't use the little tunnels.
I was gonna say this about the goons, right? The goons love to roast people, but they also love it if you go ahead and just roast yourself. Like they love that, because they're like, all right, you got a sense of humor. We can play with that, you know. And so if you make fun of yourself, they're cool with that. If you get all defensive, they're like douchebag, and then they go after that guy. So you know, I don't want to invite them here just in case they accidentally push somebody's buttons the wrong way. I get that we all can do some of that self-deprecating humor here, right? Yeah. We all have a sense of humor. We all can make fun of ourselves, but I don't want any of them to come in here and push a button that maybe somebody doesn't want pushed. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm guilty of that myself. You know, I don't know if I want to talk about that on a public forum.
I wouldn't.
It ain't gonna take much for a button push for me tonight because I'm not feeling good.
No, and you're not feeling good,
and you know why? You saw it happen.
Yeah. Did you tell them about that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to make sure. I was literally my first question for you, Joe, was going to be, how are you feeling?
Yeah. But Skunk, how did I handle it?
You didn't cry.
I didn't.
There's that.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of this number right here. He was just going. And I was like, "Are you gonna be okay?"
Those were cleansing breaths, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's one of the things that I want to point out too. I want to. What can I use to point to? Here, I'll use this. So here's the T-shade sunglasses. You guys have seen these. My John Lennon glasses, or John Lennon, or the guy from the Doors. They both wore glasses.
Morrison.
Yeah, Jim Morrison. Both wore glasses like these, T-shades, you know, the round ones. But you can see the hinge on here, right? You know, you can see where the hinge bends back and forth like that. And so this right here, right? If these are if this is the legs of Joe, and this right here at the bottom where the hinge is, if this is Joe's ankle was doing that. And I was like, Joe, please move your foot. You're going to make things worse. And Joe pulled his leg over, and it was the most painful looking pull I've ever seen. Because his face just was pure agony the entire time. He's like pulling his leg up and over to get his foot out from underneath it, so he wasn't bending his ankle out of position. He goes, and that's the $1 million ankle.
Yeah.
And I
was
said,
my-
"What is it? What did it cost you $1 million?" And he's like, "No, it was $1 million to get it fixed."
No, it cost me $1 million because
Yeah.
because I was working with the race team. The guy that took my place is now head of the paint shop at Rouse Fenway Racing.
That's what it was. And but when he was moving it over, like I could just tell, it was like he was not having it. It was, but luckily, Joe, that did happen that unfortunate incident did happen at the end of when we were moving shit around. So
Yeah, we were done.
Yeah.
we weren't done, but we were done enough.
Turned into
Now-
about as done as you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
And
were.
then I figure 2 weekends from now, Joe, we're gonna go down to the storage unit.
Maybe the Sunday or maybe the day of the next meeting. That way
When's
I've got everybody. That way I've got everybody in.
When's the next meeting?
25th of July.
All right, so we have 1 more month of this BS, and then we can finally get everything out of the storage unit.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Yeah, all right.
Are y'all hearing that through my mic?
Hearing what?
A clickety.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that.
That's rain hitting my window.
Wow.
I was gonna
Okay.
ask if it was your window AC unit, because when I was over there at your place, your window AC unit was making that clickety clackety noise.
Yeah. No, that's in the other room. That's the window here. That's the rain hitting the window.
Rain hit my window. Wasn't there a song that went like that? The rain hit.
Against my
That's what it was.
window.
I can't stand the rain. Wait,
Depend
Dan,
on the
that was-
artist and other references. Yeah.
Dan, hold up though. That I can't stand the rain against my window was what? That might have been sampled. Because I know it from a rap song.
No, it was
That was-
definitely sampled. It was a pop song back in the
Like the 60s,
70s or 80s.
Okay, because that
Missy Elliott did
Missy
it.
Elliott
Seal
sampled
did
it. Yeah.
Um,
I can't stand the rain.
the
against my
original one
window.
was by Ann Peoples in '73.
Superfly.
73. That would be the one that I would be familiar
Yeah. Well, you know what, Dan? You know what? Expand your horizons. Listen to some Missy Elliott. I'm sure you'll like her.
with.
Missy
Probably
Elliott.
would, yeah.
Missy
yeah.
Elliott's pretty cool.
Tina Turner did it also.
Okay.
Super
yeah.
fly,
Yeah.
super,
I
super,
do
super
remember
fly.
watching that video.
Um,
On the other hand, Skunk, if you ever have a chance to look up Samantha Fish, I do believe you would enjoy her performances.
hey,
Hey,
as long
Legend
as
of
it's not,
Traveling TARDIS. This is Chattanooga. We have Gold Bond powder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we use Gold Bond around.
hey, yeah.
Get your brand straight.
Literally, the 5 of us right here. Raise your hands on camera and show who here. If you have to use a medicated powder, who here is using Gold Bond?
I'm a stockholder.
I swear by Gold Bond, especially the Gold Bond mentholated.
Ooh.
That's the good stuff. Oh yeah, put a little bit of that in your jock strap. You'll be dancing to work. Hey,
Zing!
Brian.
Brian's
Hey.
on fire
Hold up,
tonight.
Brian. Hold up,
Brian
Brian.
K. Morris.
Brian,
Good night, everybody.
Brian, hold up. Actually, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do for this. This is what I'm gonna do for this, Joe. Hold on.
Calling on cars. Shot.
Brian, seriously, you don't want to be talking about foxes smelling their own holes when I'm around. Okay, I can bring up some artwork.
Uh-oh, the fight's on.
Oh, I did. You do it.
Oh,
Joe. Right.
yeah. Let's go. Hey, Christian. He lives with Cookie. You have no chance.
Yeah, you're done. You lost. You lost 30 years ago.
Before he was born.
Oh,
And it's no offense to Cookie. That is no offense to Cookie whatsoever. But I've seen the way that Cookie talks to Brian when they're just joking around, right? They're just joking around. I would hate to see the way Cookie is like if she's pissed.
Oh, Nicholas.
Hey, Nick.
Oh,
No,
skunk rocker, deviant fart.
Oh,
Now it's on.
Okay,
oh,
You
definitely.
need to write that one down because if we ever develop a furry video game, and that could be one of your secret powers.
I want to point out that there is Mugen characters that some furry artist drew up, and one of them was a skunk, and she had fart powers. I also want to point out that every character that this guy was drawing up for Mugen was morbidly obese.
Great.
I just want to. That was the whole point of this. Morbidly obese. So, and she farted on everything. That was her whole deal.
I think we'll leave those two in the comments.
Okay, what's the date today?
The
Juneteenth.
19th.
19th.
It's Juneteenth. Yes, it's Juneteenth. Hey, did we talk about that at all?
No, we haven't
You
yet.
go ahead and talk
We
about
haven't
it.
yet. It was just signed into law as a national holiday.
It is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first HallowCon since that happened, and is not HallowCon, but the Stupid Clock that has happened and it's happening on Juneteenth, as Juneteenth is now a national holiday. So Juneteenth is the holiday that is in celebration of the freeing of the slaves.
The
From
Emancipation
The
Proclamation.
Emancipation,
Mhm.
the Emancipation Proclamation, the freeing of the slaves from the Confederacy. This is an awesome day. This is something to be celebrated. I'm glad that it's a national holiday now.
You got a whole 31 minutes.
Yep.
It was when they Galveston, Texas, was the last city to find out about the Emancipation Proclamation.
To
Joe,
find
do
out
you
or
remember-
to recognize that it actually existed. and
Well,
accept it.
it was forced upon them.
Yeah. Joe, did you remember when we used to play trivia? But Amigos.
Oh yeah,
When Mark was hosting, right?
yeah.
Well, there was one night we went up there. You weren't there. You weren't there that night. But it was one night we went up there, and there was a question, and I don't remember exactly what the question was. But it was something like, what was the last state? It was something like, what was the last state to rejoin the United States after the Confederacy, or something like that?
That would be Texas.
That would be
it was-
Texas, yeah.
It was well, I don't remember what the question was. I just remember the answer. Because the first thought that popped into my head was South Carolina. Because I'm sitting there just being all like, South Carolina sucks. South Carolina sucks a lot. Like, South Carolina is still pretty racist today. I would
Yeah.
imagine it would be South Carolina. And my buddy went, it's Georgia. And I'm looking at him going like, dude, it is not Georgia. Like, Atlanta is a part of Georgia. Like Atlanta is there. No, it's not Georgia. There's no way. It's too good of a state for that. It's not Georgia. And I kept arguing with him, and he was like, no, I'm telling you, it's Georgia. And I'm like, you just want to say Georgia because you grew up in Georgia and you think Georgia's super racist. It's not racist. I'm telling you, it's not Georgia. It's going to end up being like South Carolina or Texas or something like that. And then Mark Michael read out the answer, and it was Georgia. And I looked at him, and he looked back at me, and he was just like, I told you, dude. I was like, you can't even do fractions. I don't want to hear it. Your bullshit. I was tutoring the boy in fractions at the time, so I could say that to him. You know what I mean?
Oh,
John,
heavens.
I got a question
Yes.
for you. How about
Yeah.
them tamales?
That's what I wanted you to ask me. I'm driving back from my Uncle Jim's apartment with my mom. Okay, we've been cleaning all day, and the traffic on the freeway was horrible.
Yeah.
So I went down Rossville Boulevard. I'm driving down there, and I used to work down on Russell Boulevard, so I used to drive about it. And I was looking at all the things that had changed. And we're driving down there, and I get down to about 48th Street, I think it is, 48th, 49th, somewhere.
Yeah. Hold that thought for a second, John. Who has the wind blowing into their mic?
That's the rain on my window.
No, it's definitely wind on a microphone.
Yeah, wind on a microphone for sure.
Well, hang on.
And I can hear it, so it can't be me.
It went away when Joe muted, so...
Joe, unmute. It's you. It came back when you unmuted.
Hey, you know what?
Maybe it's just a slow fart.
Did that help it?
Yes, immensely. Yep. Thank you.
Must have been a ceiling fan.
No, I had to reboot the mic, had to unplug it, plug it back in.
Noise cancellation
Lewis and I
software.
had the same
It
reaction.
works
If you put in additional quarters, will that help?
Maybe.
Lewis.
Yeah, he can't afford to fall off the horse at
Lewis
this
did
junction.
something different. I want to point out, Lewis did something different, but we both had the same reaction, right?
Yeah,
Lewis
I rebooted
tilted his
the
head,
mic.
right? And I went backwards, like, what?
Yeah, I unplugged it and plugged it back in.
Hey, you know what? Whatever works. John, continue your story. So you're on.
Okay. Got down
48th.
48th Street, found this thing called Mama G's Tamales.
Okay.
If you've been there,
No.
go there.
Okay.
It is one of the perfect hole-in-the-wall Mexican food places. The people that run it are awesome. The food is delicious.
I have a quick question for you though. Before you.
Corn husk.
What? No, that's not my question. But that's a good. Thank you for answering that. That means that there's good tamales. But no. Seriously. My question is price tag.
Decently priced.
I want to point out that
I think they're $3.25 a piece.
homeboy over here, he's not here. He's not in the room. He's not in the green screen or anything. But I don't know if y'all heard, but my roommate is currently unemployed.
Again?
Joe, you knew about this.
No.
Yeah, you did. We talked about it while we were at your house.
That implies that Joe is actually listening.
Yes.
I would imagine you were. You were there. It's your house. No, Joe. My roommate Joe, not this Joe, but my roommate Joe, is in between jobs at the moment. He got sick and tired of Walmart's. He got sick and tired of Walmart's BS, and so he started looking for another job. Now, supposedly, and I only say this, I'm not trying to put shade on him. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know. As long as he pays his rent at the end of the month, that's all I really give two shits about. But he supposedly has two jobs at this point. One with Circle K and one with Dollar Tree. I don't really care which one he has or which one he's going to work, as long as he pays rent at the end of the month. I really don't care. That's all I'm worried about personally, is paying the bills.
I'm trying real hard to be nice. I'm not saying something. But.
Well, Brian, I don't have a wife. I don't worry about those problems. That's a married man's issue, not mine.
Was that the tamale shop?
That's the tamale shop, Mrs. G's.
Oh, that's an old golden gallon.
It is an old golden gallon, and it's right there at 40. There's Walter A. Wood way down there.
Okay, I know exactly where that's at.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly where that's at. It's over there by the Walgreens.
That used to be a smokehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
a
used
pawn
to be a
shop
barbecue joint
and
for a
every other-
while.
Yeah, I do remember when it was a pawn shop. Yeah.
But
I pass
I
that
would
place
highly
all the
recommend
time.
that place. It is. When I said hole in the wall, I was not kidding.
Yeah.
Right.
Trivial
Speaking of
question.
holes, I got pee.
Trivial question. Does anybody know whether the canned grocery store tamales have the corn husks on them?
Most of
No.
them are paper.
Yeah, they're paper. You talking about the Hormel?
Might have been. I don't know.
My
It's
mom
been a
loves
long.
those things. You know,
It's been a long, long time.
They're good.
Get those during the pandemic.
Yeah, they're good in a pinch. Now tell me this, Mama G's, is it more meat than masa?
Depends on which one you get.
Because
they've got chicken, they've got pork, they've got a jalapeno and something. I can't remember what it was. I wish I'd had my camera with me. I'd take a picture of it. But they have a really, and it's all authentic Mexican style food.
Yeah, because Del Taco has tamales seasonally, and man, they put up the sign, and I was like, boy, I can't wait. I got one, and it was like this much beef and this much masa. It was so flippin' dry, I couldn't choke it down. Now, I'm used to New Orleans, where you go to Manuel's.
Yeah,
Manuel's had these tamale carts all over town. Oh my God, you get a dozen tamales and feed 20 people. It was crazy.
Ah.
Ringgold
Hold
Road.
up. Wait. Hold up. I'm sorry, John. A dozen tamales feed 20 people?
No, I said that. It was Manuel's in New Orleans.
I know. But
they were huge. They were just so meaty and so big.
Tamales.
They look like
one tamale feeds one person. You have a dozen feeding 20 people. What are these things the size of logs?
They looked like a meatloaf.
Yeah,
really, like a meatloaf.
Yeah,
holy.
And there was twice as much meat as masa.
Wow.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Road trip.
Ringgold Road.
Unfortunately, Manuel's doesn't
exist anymore.
Oh.
Neither does
like many things. Katrina finally
took it out. Yeah. Spring Creek Road at Ringgold Road. Okay. Right where you turn to go up toward the hospital and school and all that.
Yeah.
There used to be a little Mexican grocery right there in the corner. Y'all remember? Anybody remember?
I think it's still there.
No, they bulldozed that whole building. The whole lot is gone. Nothing but rubble and construction equipment.
Now I know they did that down the street where John Tartan Furniture was, where they mark it up just a little bit. That's been leveled.
Oh, I've got to bring this one up.
Okay.
That's some big tamales there.
Yeah.
Now
the ones at
Mrs. G's are about the size of a store-bought microwave burrito. They're average, about the size of a corn cob.
Okay, well that's a good size.
It is.
Yeah, really.
And Mom Swarsbaum, she's in love. We stopped there. She was like, "Oh, they got tamale! Turn around!" And I pulled the Dukes of Hazzard and got back in there. And it's Rossville Boulevard. That's mandatory. And
really,
if you're not jumping the railroad tracks, you ain't driving.
Hello, Keisha Acuff, and thank you for the big heart. Of course,
people.
Of course,
glasses, girl. Okay.
Yeah. Well, she has glasses. Evidently, she just don't have them on tonight.
Or maybe she's talking about beautiful souls.
Beautiful soul. Okay, I can live with that.
Okay, well, I know she's not talking about me now. Oh. I hate to say it, but
you shouldn't have done that.
But my new office chair is not as comfortable as my old one.
I thought your chair looked different. I didn't say anything about it because you're wearing that black shirt, but
Yeah, I got a new chair.
Evidently, you need the little donut pad in it.
It needs something. And
my mom got this thing for her chair. It looks like a mushroom that's made out of like plastic netting.
Yeah. Well, this thing has a seam right across the middle. And not only is it the padding thin, this seam will pinch your butt. If you move around, it pinches your butt, and I'm just not into that shit.
Maybe that chair likes
you. That's not a good endorsement for the chair company.
Sexual harassment for a chair.
We're gonna have to do with that commercial.
Your chair pinched my butt. I'm suing you for sexual harassment.
Mm. Oh my God! I had to take the sexual harassment training at work last week. Everybody in the corporation had to take it. I was not singled out, as odd as that may seem. Oh
God, I used to hate that in the Army. We would be in all male combat units. They didn't have females in our units at all, and we had to go to sexual harassment training. And it's like
it was mandatory. You can't get out of it. Yeah.
Who are we going to sexually harass around here? You know,
Each other.
You'd be surprised, big boy.
Yeah.
Uh,
That ain't the Navy, Lewis.
Oh, John, I was thinking of you when I saw this clip on YouTube today.
Oh
There's this Bradley fighting vehicle,
God, I hate Bradley.
and the back was opened up, and there's a guy with a ball bat standing, and these people were screaming inside it. And all of a sudden, two female army cadet or recruits or whatever they were come running out, screaming like something was about to kill them. And then a raccoon comes out behind them and chases them. How the raccoon got into the Bradley, I don't know.
Food. That's the answer right there. Food. Okay.
Well, the problem is, as the camera was coming up, the door was coming open. So evidently, it climbed in while they were already in there.
Possibly. I've seen a guy have they were driving down in a Bradley, and they had all the hatches open. They were down in the gunner seat, so the seats were down.
Yeah.
They're driving down the road, and there was a possum in the tree above them. And as they came down, the hatch smacked the tree. And possum drops in right on the track commander, dropped into his lap, rolled off into the turret bucket. And when the turret's in operation, there's a door in the bucket they close and lock. And as long as the turret is in operation, you can't open that door. You have to lock and secure the turret before that door can be opened. Because if it's open and you got a hand in there, you'll lose a hand.
So he's trapped with a possum.
Both of them. There's two guys in there trapped with the possum. And the possum is not amused.
They seldom are.
The possum is not impressed with the Bradley ride. Okay.
Where's my bucket seat?
All he's wanting is out, right?
Through anything that gets in his way, believe me.
I think they made the possum a command sergeant major because all he did was sit in the Bradley and go. Like every other command sergeant major we know.
Let's see. Brian Morris says he took the sexual harassment training back at the water company. I think the instructor for telling me how to do it properly. Oddly enough, she didn't laugh.
We went down to Camp Shelby, and they gave us a sexual harassment briefing. And, of course, we don't have any females in the unit at the time. And this female lieutenant came in to give us the briefing, and we're like, and she got pissed at us because we just were not taking it seriously. I mean, it's like, you know, and all these boys from you could tell she was a Yankee because she thought we were going to sexually harass each other. And apparently she doesn't know anything about people from Tennessee. And nobody was going to do that to each other. And, you know,
she watched Deliverance and thought that's why all of us are.
Hey, that's what we should have done is brought banjos. I gotta remember that.
You could frighten the crap out of somebody that way.
She'll start giving the sexual harassment briefing, and somebody in the back of the room there. Ding, 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 ding.
Paddle faster.
You know, I used to go camping until the Gorge where part of that was filmed. Never heard any banjos. Evidently, I was the most dangerous SOB in the canyon. So.
Because you were supposed to take the banjo there, Dan. Okay. It's your day for the banjo.
Didn't they film some of that up on the Ocoee too?
I think so. Yeah, that there were lots of different filming locations. One of the waterfall. I think the waterfall that Burt Reynolds went over was actually in Tallulah Gorge, and there are some dramatic waterfalls there, but. I don't remember exactly what that scene was, but I probably would have recognized exactly which bend in the canyon it was. That used to be fun before they made it into a state park and disallowed overnight camping there. When it was still private property, we could pull in the parking lot by the framework for the Walunda's tightrope walk across the canyon.
Yeah.
And we go down about 1,100 feet to the bottom.
Filming locations for Deliverance were Chattooga River in Georgia, Sylva, North Carolina. Boy, they did film all over the place. Lake Tallulah Falls, Georgia. Lake Jocassee in South Carolina. Tallulah Gorge, Georgia. Oconee County, South Carolina. Georgia. Beaufort, South Carolina. Rabun Gap, Georgia, and Clayton, Georgia. It does not say anything about the Ocoee, though.
I always thought that's...
Well, they got Oconee County. That may be what you were what you're confused.
Yeah, that's where a lot of people may have confused the two.
I had
Which
always
is
heard
Lake
that too,
Jocassee.
Joe, but it was not.
Yeah. Now, Lewis, have you heard about the big thing in the kayaking hitting the... they only go kayaking after big rains so they can go off the waterfalls?
I've heard there's some thrill seekers that will do that.
Yeah.
The TVA frowns greatly on that.
Yeah, well, they don't hit TVA. They go like the North Chick coming down the mountain.
What was that? Fiery Gizzard Creek, which is up near.
For a minute there, I thought you were talking about campfire food.
No. The Fiery Gizzard Trail runs from Tracy City, Tennessee, all the way down towards South Pittsburgh. And there's 2 state parks at each end. And when you come down from the top, you go past Ravens Point. And it's a really nice trail, about 15 miles. And it's pretty cool because there's a state park at each end. And several waterfalls, caves. The river disappears underground for a while and then comes back out later on. I mean,
That's fascinating.
It is weird. And there's several swimming areas. And if you can keep
Nowhere near where it goes underground, I hope.
And if they can keep all the rednecks from tossing trash in, it's actually a pretty nice place. They got old coal mines off the what they call dog hole mines. And these things are over 100 years old, and you can look in there and you can see where it goes back into the mountain, and they're only like 4 feet tall. That's why they call them dog hole mines. And it's a really nice trail. It's an old Civilian Conservation Corps trail, which dates back to the early 30s, maybe 20 or late 20s, early 30s.
Well, early 30s.
You just caused me to remember something here. Now, okay, any fantasy writers that are listening, there is a spot on the far wall of Tallulah Gorge, right there where my friends and I used to start down the trail to go camping and everything. It's perfectly door-shaped, 6x4, and it just seems to go back in to that wall. You can't see the back of it. It's just dark, and it's like 15 to 20 feet below the actual edge of the canyon. So it's not like somebody climbed down there and chiseled out a door. Perfect concept for a fantasy story. That is a doorway to a mythical realm. Use it, please.
How do you say friend in Elvish?
Hold up though, Dan. Because here's the problem with that. And a lot of people out there in the world of fantasy will, or not just fantasy, but people out there in the world of creating fiction, creatives out there will be like, nah, just go ahead and do that. Nah. But Dan, the problem with your story is that it has already been done. Because that's basically Zork.
Really? Didn't know that.
Yeah, Zork is you go into the basement of a house, just a random house that you find, and you go in the basement, and there's a door that leads to the Great Underground Empire.
Oh well, this is a door
Basically, the same thing
almost
you're
at the top of
describing.
an 1,100-foot sheer cliff of granite. So, how do you get there to go in it, or what do you do when you're coming out of it?
Oh, I thought you were saying it was like in a quarry where you like.
No, it's within 20 feet of the top of the canyon. It is totally inaccessible by normal means.
Very weird.
You would
Well,
have
that could be
you
a
would have
thing.
to rappel down from the South Carolina side to get to it.
Lewis has a thing he wants to show us. Let's see what that is.
Okay.
Speaking of doorways to another realm, hey Joe, you saw this in my backyard.
Oh
huh?
yeah,
I
that
put
is so. That is so neat. I like how you did that.
Thank you. A friend of ours gave us the door. They had replaced their back kitchen door. They gave us the door, and Denise had the idea of making a secret garden doorway. So let me see. Yeah. So this was in my garage or basement. So I put the wood. Now you can see how much wood extends below the bottom of the door. So
Yeah.
that's how deep I dug the holes and then set the door up. And let's see. There we go. So there's the holes dug. And the door set up in there and concrete filled in.
Mhm.
Is the
That's
glass
after it
still
all set.
is the glass still in the door?
Pardon?
Is the
Yeah,
glass?
the glass is still
Oh,
in the
okay.
door.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So then we painted it. We dug out in front of it and put a little garden in front. Instead of a welcome mat, we had little flowers. We got little hanging baskets on the side. And it's still there 6 years later.
And dodged 2 trees, right?
And dodged two trees. One fell in front, one fell behind during 2 different storms.
And Anna Maria says, "Very cool."
Yes.
Yeah,
Indeed.
it's been quite a conversation piece at our house.
And she says, "Have you seen Lock and Key? Reminds me of that."
No, I've not.
Well, if I remind her of Lock and Key, it reminds me of this. Does anybody besides me know what movie this is?
Nope.
Nope.
John?
I should.
No,
I
I don't,
should,
I don't
but I
recognize it.
Joe?
No clue.
Really? This is a classic, guys.
What?
Phantasm.
Okay.
Oh.
That explains why I don't know.
We're getting some heavy rain down here in Ringgold.
No. If I were to do something like that, Lewis, I would make actually TARDIS doors.
I was sitting there. I was thinking that guy looked familiar there, Skunk. I just couldn't place it because that weird picture.
Well, I mean, it's a shot from the film. Like, it's the whole thing of like he's putting his hand into the gate.
No, I just didn't recognize.
You can see how it's cutting his fingers off. Like literally cutting his fingers off. It's just he's entering a gate to another world.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as a writer, I'm very familiar with the concept, but yeah.
Yeah, some kind of gate. Some kind of Stargate.
I think that's been copyrighted.
Ah, shit.
Yeah,
Actually-
and you don't want to go up against the monster of Amazon to try to get copyrights.
Yeah,
Joe,
really.
what was that?
Yeah, Amazon now owns Stargate.
What was that thing that we found when we were cleaning the sheds?
Which time?
We
We
found
Wasn't
those
that rough, that
styrofoam balls.
animation there?
We found those styrofoam balls that
Oh.
were specifically for Timegate. What were
Yep.
those?
The Gawold challenge, the Jaffa Challenge of Honor. They were the Gawold grenades.
And what were they for? What did you make them for?
Made them for Timegate.
And what was the purpose of making them? What was that for?
One of the crazy games that I play at the conventions.
Yes, and it was one of those things that Joe did prior to becoming the head of HallowCon. Joe did at a lot of conventions.
Oh yeah,
Basically the same game.
Joe running games all over the place.
Basically the same game, but it was something that was born at what was it?
Fantasy-Con.
It was born at Fantasy-Con
as a joke.
Yeah, it was born at Fantasy-Con as a joke, kind of evolved into its own thing, and its mainstay is HallowCon.
Yeah.
So that's where it really got popular, was at HallowCon, and it's kind of stayed there ever since, and we still have it. So if you want to know what we're talking about, you need to get your pre-registration. Well, is pre-registration up yet, Joe?
Yes, it's up.
Pre-registration is up. Put your pre-registration in, and call the hotel. Call the Econo Lodge in Rocky Face, Georgia, on Tibbs Drive. Call them up and reserve your room today.
Yeah.
For HallowCon, because you want to be there. And everybody here is going to, well, Lewis, I'm not 100% sure about, but everybody else is going to be at HallowCon this year, right?
They're going to try.
Lewis?
Yeah.
Are you planning on being at HallowCon this year?
I'm planning on it.
Awesome. Yeah. We understand if life gets in the way.
Yeah.
It's not life getting in the way, but damn Wings Over Georgia's the same weekend.
Hey, wow, everybody is scheduling everything for the last weekend of October. It's actually kind of pissing me off.
Yeah.
Skunk,
holiday weekend.
Since you have brought up the game, I'm still mad about you for something in that.
I didn't do it. And you
you
did.
You did.
Go again.
Don't you start with me.
Yes, I'm gonna start and I'm gonna finish it too. It was the first year. It was the first year at LibertyCon when we named it Patriot Games.
Yes.
Little Ruby.
I let her. Okay, you know what?
Yeah, actually, let me finish the story. Why don't you
go ahead? Because I want to know what you're mad about. Because I was about to say something, and I was like, you know what? I better find out what Joe's mad about before I put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The rule of the game is I count down 3, 2, 1, fire, and you're supposed to throw your first ball at your opponent. Okay. And the rule states you throw your second ball at your leisure.
Yes.
Little Ruby, 6 years old, found the loophole.
Yes.
When I said 3, 2, 1, fire, she threw both balls underhand at the same time, and they crossed right where the person was standing. And I went, oh, crap. And I said, well, also one of the rules is rules of the line judge is final.
Yeah.
So I'm going, okay, cool. I've got Fritz and I've got Skunk. They can rule. What does Fritz and Skunk say at the exact same time? Joe?
I thought you were going to talk about the fact that we gave Ruby a pass in the first round.
No.
Because y'all got to understand.
Ruby was 6 years old.
She was 6 years old.
In order for her to,
in order for Ruby to, let's be honest, in order for Ruby to get the oomph that was needed to get these bombs,
styrofoam balls,
to be able to get that extra oomph to be able to get towards the much more adult opponents, she might have needed a little bit of assistance. Normally, we're very much, hey, if your foot leaves the ground, right,
you're out.
But being how little she was, we gave her a pass for the first few rounds.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about in the final round where we were sitting there just being like, nah, we gotta cut her. Like that. It's the final round, dude. She lifted her leg. It was very obvious. Like we couldn't help it.
And what was so funny is these guys would end up going up against her, and through the whole game, they have been beating each other with it. And here they are going up against this little 6-year-old girl, and they're like,
they couldn't hit her because it was their big thing. That was their big thing. If they had actually hit her, we would have called her out for sure because she lifted her leg during the first 2 rounds. But nobody could hit her.
and well, the thing was, a few guys didn't want to throw at her. It was like,
no mercy. It's a styrofoam ball. What is she going to do? Cry? She's going to cry for getting hit with a styrofoam ball? She knows what she was getting into. I don't care.
Yeah,
but
Lewis,
that's the reason why I was a line judge.
Yeah, Lewis, one of the funny things about this game is everybody goes in ha ha, hee ha in the first round. Second round, it turns into, okay, this could be serious. When it gets to the final round, it's cutthroat.
It's a styrofoam blood.
I remember. So here's my 3 favorite moments from these games that Joe has ran. Yeah. They all got different names, but they're all basically the same thing. My 3 favorite moments, right? Yeah. Number 3 is when I did the Matrix dodge. Yeah. Somebody threw at me and I did a complete. I leaned back 90 degrees and came right back up, right, and dodged somebody's round. To which then afterwards, like that was they missed with the first one. This threw the second one and they missed it too. But the first one was the one that I went raw, and I still had one of my rounds left because I threw mine and then ducked, and so they threw their second one and it missed me too, and I just was like, and popped them. There was my second favorite moment. Second favorite moment was when Ruby did the double. Yeah, because I didn't know what to do. I was. Yeah. Y'all just left me hanging. Because the thing about it was that she threw the double, right? And the thing about it was that this was what was so confusing for me and Fritz. She threw the double, but it was at this. She threw the double and nailed the guy with both shots. Yeah, which is what confused us because we didn't know. Like, and you got to remember, she got hit too, but she hit him with both shots. She only got hit with one, so we didn't know how to rule that. My third favorite was the War of Attrition. I don't remember who the 2 people were, but they couldn't hit each other in the last round. No, it was in the last round. They could not hit each other. It went forever. I want to say one of them was Boomer, and you retired him after that. Yeah. You were just like, no more. You can't play anymore because. No, he actually quit. He actually. It was because you had him as a line judge after that from then on out. But yeah, he wanted to drop. He said, "I'm tired of winning." Yeah, because that was the thing. Was if I remember correctly, Boomer won that round, but it took forever. I think if I remember correctly, because it was to the death, and it was just one of those. He barely glanced, and it was like, "Okay, I'm done. Like I got him." Yeah, and I remember the other person was, but they just. Because both of them were really good at dodging. It was just crazy. Very fun game. Now, my favorite, Tom, was the first game out there at Country Hearth out there in East Ridge. Mm-hmm. We were playing outside, and I had days to come up with the rules and everything for this game. And all I could find was the florist foam balls. Which were fine, but... And the thing is, with the florist foam balls, the harder you throw them, the slower they go. This is true. It was one of those things where after the first game, you instituted a new rule after the first game because you didn't know at the time period how well that was going to go down. After the first game, you instituted the rule with you when you're coming up as the first person, you get the choice, heads or tails.
Oh yeah, you get to pick which side you're on.
The first round, the first ever time we played the game, you didn't give that option.
No.
It was literally the first person who gets called out goes to heads. The second person who gets called out goes to tails. We didn't because we didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Wind. Wind would pick those balls up. So if you were playing on tails on that first game, well, all the wind was coming from the back lot. So when you're playing on tails in the first game, it gave you a tactical advantage.
Yeah.
Go.
And well, the funny part was when JJ, John Johnson, the ball went at him and it got right here.
And stopped.
The wind caught it from behind him. And he's like,
you gotta
and he blew it and it dropped.
If you've never met JJ, you gotta imagine this face. Like he didn't know what to do, and it fell in front of him like the Matrix. And he, for a moment, thought he was the one.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, this is what you need to get for that game.
Yeah. Anna Marie says, look around Christmas or right after and look for the plush snowballs. They sell them in bags for fake snowball fights. They don't hurt. Fights? Okay. Yeah. They don't hurt, but have enough weight to fly well, and you can get them wholesale. Yeah.
Well, you get the water bombs that I just showed you at Walmart or Dollar Tree.
Yeah. We don't do the last snowball fight of the year. We don't do that anymore because that was a Fantasy-Con thing.
Yeah, that was the winner's last stand.
So we do the pumpkin chunkin'. So we would have to get those, right? We'd have to get those plush snowballs. If we can get them, we'd have to get them in orange.
Yeah.
No, you should just get plush. You should just get plush pumpkins. I'm sure you could get them, Joe. But what that would require in order for us to get plush pumpkins to throw at each other is money. For more people to come to HallowCon. So you all need to come to HallowCon and pre-register and get your rooms today.
All right, enough plugs. Oh.
Hey, not enough plugs. In fact,
no.
In fact, there's nowhere near enough plugs. I have some more plugs to give for the Rising Tide Broadcast Network.
There you go. Do
the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, which is Stupid O'Clock and Armchair Rocket Science, are proud members of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, where a rising tide raises all ships, and that's what we do when we're here. All times are Eastern. This is our program schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday, we have Comics, Chaos, and Sass at 10 p.m. on Facebook. Monday, never mind the furthermore, at 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Tuesday, Clever Title Pending at 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube, and TED Talks at 10 a.m. on YouTube. Recent TED Talk episode involving our friend here, Dan Hallfield. You should go watch that one. Wednesday, never mind the furthermore, at 10 a.m. with Facebook and YouTube. Thursday, TED Talks at 10 a.m. on YouTube. Comic Book Spectrum at 7 p.m. on Facebook. Creative as Hell on 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. And our own show, Stupid O'Clock, at 9 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Friday, never mind the furthermore. You know what?
Damn it.
I do want to point something out real quick. We don't have the Twitch logo in here. Because never mind the furthermore, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is not only Facebook, not only YouTube, but also on Twitch at 10 a.m. Michaela Jade's Tidbits and Scribbles at 7 p.m. on YouTube. Historical Fencing Guild at 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. And Saturday, Stupid O'Clock at 11 p.m. Facebook and YouTube. And also Twitch. I keep forgetting we're also on Twitch as well. If you follow our Twitch account, the HallowCon Twitch account, please do. And our wild card show, Armchair Rocket Science, will air whenever launches are scheduled by NASA, SpaceX, or Blue Origin on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So that's the schedule.
And actually, Friday, June 25th, around 3 o'clock. Let me look real quick, and I can tell you. Find the button. There it is. Friday, June 25th at about 2:45, we'll be going live for a launch of the Falcon 9 with a return to launch site landing, not on board ship. A return to launch site landing. So I like those are so cool.
What's the
Oh,
payload
yeah,
on
they
that
are.
one?
It is Transporter 2. It's a rideshare satellite.
Well, trivial point, there are some new Rising Tide shows coming out.
Wait, Dan, before you continue, are you NDA'd on this?
Nope. I have permission.
All right, tell us all about it.
Last Man Standing is, according to Brian, now part of the Rising Tide Network. And there is a new show under production that is all about conspiracy theories that I am not at liberty to discuss the title or whatnot or the time frame, but it's in the works, and it will be somewhere in the middle of the week, I do believe.
I
And
can't
there
wait
are
for
there
that
are
one.
also others that I am not privy to because I'm not a member of the Privy Council, so I don't have to watch the king take a shit, you know.
All right. I'm going to have to jump out of here, guys.
Oh,
I might be back in a few minutes. I'm going to drop off for a few minutes. So I'll be back.
all right, Joe.
Um,
And when he makes that face, I worry a lot.
I'm very worried about him. I'm actually gonna. I think I'm gonna go ahead and jet as well.
It's just gas, Dan.
I've had I've actually had a really long day. I had to get up early and go work with Joe.
Yes. Okay.
I had to get up early and go work with Joe, and then after that, I had to go do some other things. I'm very tired.
I remember Cool World.
Yeah, this is a good movie. But yeah, it's midnight. So I'm gonna go ahead and jet. Actually, I just wanted to pop in for a few minutes and say hi to everybody. Love y'all. Thank you so much. But yeah, I'm actually pretty tired. Not just that's something. So I'm gonna go ahead and go.
All right.
Okay.
Good night, Skunk. We'll miss you.
Skunk, before you leave,
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. I may have come into an extra laptop computer.
Okay.
Did you ever get your laptop fixed?
No, I bought a new one.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I knew when that laptop. I mean, that laptop was like 10 years old, man. It was time to get a new one. So I just went and bought a new one. I said, screw it. And technically, that laptop is broken, but it's not broken.
the new one?
No, the old one.
Mm.
It's got a what? I don't understand what that comment.
It's not a,
Nobody said a word.
No. This.
He's reading comments.
Oh yeah.
Ren Melon.
Rin Melon? She's a Runefest melon? What? No.
I don't know what that comment means.
Don't talk bad about the lady. She's the only one that can wake me up when I go to sleep on one of these shows.
What is a Rin Melon?
Ren Million. I don't know what that means. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad. I don't know what that means, but
dresses as a melon at Renfest.
She means
a good thing.
Look her up.
Rinmelian is her name online.
I gotcha. Okay.
If you look at the Patreons for
I was close.
Rising
It was
Tide.
Renaissance Chameleon. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the last thing I'm gonna say before I go to bed. I'm too tired for this bullshit. No,
What are you doing here? Then, because we're full of it.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Right after I got done helping Joe with his stuff. I had to go do other stuff, and I'm very tired. I've got a lot of stuff I got to do tomorrow.
Go get some sleep
before Monday, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some sleep. I'll tell y'all later. Good night.
Good night, Scott. I've been telling people all week to go get some sleep.
It looks like Lewis took your advice.
Almost. I've been up since 7, so.
Oh, yeah.
I finally got to sleep in today. I've been getting up like 7:30 all week. So.
I think I woke up about 9:15, and Lindsay and I got out of bed about 10. And
I'll take a wow.
no,
No, that was me.
we went outside and started tearing down more chicken wire from the old cat pen.
Is that what the kids are calling it this day? Tearing down chicken wire.
Hey, well, now she can walk out the back door of the house, take a hard left, and reach the spigot to turn on the water so she can water all of her flowers and everything without having to make like a whole huge trip through what used to be the door to the cat pen. Yeah. So that impediment is gone. And sometime
joke
soon.
off for the night, or we just
not for the
He
night.
said he might be back.
better.
Yeah. So
So I'm cleaning out my uncle's apartment. Okay. And he's got a laptop on the table. It doesn't even have a password on it. Okay, so we brought it up, and he didn't have that much on it, which is odd because he reads a lot of books, and he had one of those programs where you read books online.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't have any books in it. And then he had another laptop in his apartment. It was a Chromebook. I don't have much experience with it, but we powered it up, looked at it, and it's got somebody else's name on it, and you have to have a password to get into it. So either somebody that lived in that apartment he was in, the apartment building he was in, left their laptop at his apartment, except that the power supply was up underneath his computer desk, so he was using it at one point or not. Or he bought it from somebody and they never gave him a password.
That's going to be a little bit tricky.
No, I know people.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Hey, I know NSA type people. Okay, I can get a computer cracked real quick. So
good to know.
Not that we're going to leave anything laying around for you to get a hold of, but
that's why it's good to know.
Well, let's put it this way: he's a prior service Marine, and he had to decide between NSA and CIA. And the NSA pays better, and you don't get shot at as much. So.
Okay, the lesser of two weasels.
Ooh.
Hey,
you might be a lot more accurate than most people know. Okay.
It's the danger of being a natural born smartass. Let me tell you.
You heard about the Colonial Pipeline got cyber hijacked, and they had to pay money to get their computer back, right? And then they got half the money back because part of the Bitcoin vault, whatever you call it, part of it was in the United States
and got hacked by the government.
And everybody's wondering, how did they get the encryption for Bitcode? He knows how. let's just say it's a lot easier than people think.
Yeah.
And strangely enough, it's money.
Well, I mean, did you see a couple of weeks ago all these cyber criminals got arrested? Well, not cyber, all these criminal syndicates got arrested simultaneously in dozens of different countries because they all thought they were communicating on a completely secure communications app. The communications app was written by the CIA and the FBI and MI6. They all work together. I can't believe that many different government agencies were able to work together and nothing leaked. That's what I find amazing.
Really?
Okay. Are you're familiar with the Enigma device that the Nazis used in World War II? Okay.
Yeah.
There was a
One
company
that Alan Turing cracked.
right. That was originally an American company that built that thing.
Really?
The U.S. military didn't want it. So he sold it to Germany. Okay.
Well, please tell me it wasn't Howard Hughes, because that would be 2 strikes against the old bastard.
Yeah. Now, the thing was, it wasn't that big a deal. They needed somebody to build the machines, so he went to Germany to get them to build it. And of course, Germany liked it and started using it. That same company started building a newer version of it, basically, an electronic version as opposed to a manual version. After World War II, and everybody started using them. It was supposed to be even more secure than the one the Nazis had. Everybody started using them, except Russia. Russia didn't trust the damn things. And it turns out every embassy in the world had these things that they were sending secret documents on. And it turns out the CIA was one of the backers of the company, and they put a back door into every one of those machines. And we're reading everybody's diplomatic messages. And that's one of the main reasons that somehow or another, Russia knew and didn't want to have anything to do with it. Well, Soviet Union. I don't know if it was actually Russia alone or the entire Soviet Union, but it didn't work as well. Even though the Soviets weren't using it, everybody they were talking to was.
So what happened to Skunk?
Went to bed.
He was tired.
You worked him too hard today.
You're tired of watching you fall on your butt.
Oh.
Nice to meet you, Anna. Please
you, Anna.
don't, please don't be a stranger. Come back anytime we're on. You're more than welcome. Shoot, one night we might even talk you into coming and being one of our guests.
She is a very delightful lady, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah. And hey, Bill, welcome. Welcome from the Sheraton Hotel in Mount Prospect, Illinois. All right.
Yeehaw!
That's where the Blues Brothers got their police car from.
What, Mount Prospect?
It was an old Mount Prospect police car. I remember. She said she wrote down Mount Prospect, and I'm like, where did I know that?
No, wasn't she? That's Bill. That's Bill.
Oh,
and yep, I have shot him the introduction link to get here. Bill's one of those folks that winds up with Last Man Standing talking my ear off all night, and me talking his ear off in turn. And
Last Man Standing, we're going to do something a little different tonight. We're actually going to sign off of the Stupid O'Clock channels, and as the credits roll on this show, Dan is going to jump over and start Last Man Standing on his channels.
There you go.
Just something I want to throw out here real quick. If Ava Marie has her video and everything ready, let's throw her in for the last 30 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
Anna, you're invited.
Didn't she just say goodnight?
Yeah.
Did she?
Oh,
got a bell. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Just start shooting her an invite.
You're invited.
Well, I mean, the link would be helpful. I mean,
I think she's tuned in on your channel, Dan. So you would probably have to send her the link because I don't have her on my channel.
I can do the military invite. Do you want an invite? Knife hand and everything. Okay. For those of you who don't know, in the military, pointing at someone like this is considered rude. So when the military points at someone, they do the knife hand thing. Apparently, this is an insult in certain countries.
Okay, she says she's still here technically. she could jump in the desktop. Well, come on.
Somebody send her a link. Oh, there went Lewis.
Look, he didn't leave. He just killed his camera for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joe, I worry about you so much.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm just
I didn't
crazy.
think anybody wanted to see me blow my nose.
Thank you.
You never know. There's like YouTube channels for that.
Let them find them.
See, Bill. Give her a sec. We need to send her a link, don't we? Did somebody send her a link?
I guess Dan's going to have to because I don't have her on my private messages.
Let me look that up.
So, John?
Yes.
I was looking through my itinerary, and it will be day 7 that I will be at the American Cemetery in Normandy.
Ooh.
Day 7 of 9, so it'll be near the end of the trip. I'll be tired, but
7 of 9. Just look for Jerry and tell her I love her.
Is she gonna be in the cat suit? Okay.
Hey, did you see the trailer for season 2 of Picard?
Yes.
I have not.
Apparently, she's like having a delusion or something, and she looks in a mirror and she doesn't have any of her
Borg
implants?
hardware.
No,
you know what that means? I can tell you what that means right now. She made it back to Unimatrix 0. I can tell you right now what's going on.
No,
you know what?
It's Q is involved.
Yeah, it's time travel.
Unimatrix 0. I'm calling it right now, and y'all are gonna go, damn, he was right.
But even the Federation logo has changed.
Yeah, yeah, they're bouncing around in time. I think they're going to do a plot line similar to Best of Both Worlds, or what?
Mirror Universe.
No, Mirror Universe. Screw Mirror Universe. I hate Mirror Universe.
Yeah, where Q came in and destroyed 3 Enterprises at once.
Yeah, that
it was
one.
a good day for Q.
That was the final episode. Yeah.
Yes. Well, it was a 2-parter. Yeah.
Did we
send
send
what a long, strange trip it's been.
Well, they made it a 2-parter. It was actually a 2-hour episode when it aired.
Right. Yeah. But in syndication, it's 2 parts.
Yeah.
They should have used that for the first Next Gen movie instead of the one they did.
See, the first Next Gen movie was First Contact?
No, the crossover one.
Oh, really?
Yep.
The one with Kirk?
Yep. That one did not need to be made. Excuse me.
Oh, well, look who's here. Hello, Anna Maria.
Hello.
Hey, Dan.
Lewis.
Hey, darling.
Before we get talking with Anna here, I love how you commented, and I said the best closing line of any series ever is
Something's wild and sky's the limit.
Yeah, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
And I said,
nothing's wild and sky's the limit.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing's wild and sky's the limit. And then the opening line of Picard is see and call.
Yeah.
Which just tied.
Yeah, it was a perfect connector.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, welcome to Stupid O'Clock.
Hey.
Now, what should we call you? Amelia, Rhea, Anna Maria? Rhea. Okay.
Rhea, Ren, hey you.
No, there's too many hey yous on here. We need to be specific.
Rhea or Ren, either one.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, you didn't ask her 3 questions.
Well, okay.
So what are the 3 questions?
What are the 3 questions? Who are you? What are you doing? How the hell did you get suckered into this? I mean, why are you on this show?
I'll start with the last one, Dan.
We can finally blame Dan for something.
Who says I'm
Oh,
the
you
only
can
one that
blame
can
me
look him
for
up on the
anything,
other
but I didn't
screen?
expect anything but her.
I'm Anna Maria Salvaggio, and I am an illustrator, graphic designer, author, publisher, editor, paper artist,
Do
a
you work
little
for
bit of
yourself?
everything,
Can't hold a job,
all the
huh?
things. Actually, I worked in bookstores most of my life. Worked for Macmillan in the mid '90s, and ended up designing books, editing books, do book covers. I've been working in and around the publishing industry since the mid '90s. I've been freelance for 36 years, full time from home for 20. And
Wow.
yeah, I love what I
You're
do. I
way
do
ahead
all
of the
sorts of
curve.
stuff. Children's books, the whole nine, paper goods. These days it's t-shirts, stickers, character design, like this little guy is for one of my children's books.
I love that.
Aw.
I love that. 'cause
Oh,
I've always-
How
even
cute.
the backside.
I just got the fabric.
I love that
the other
because I've
day.
always wanted to do coloring books.
Yep, I do those too. So this is a plushie prototype.
Oh,
So
how
I just
neat.
got him in the mail. So he's going to be done. And then I've got a Yeti I'm working on too.
Oh,
That
So I
looks
do all
just
sorts of
like a
stuff.
Yeti.
So there's the backside. But
oh, and
But
now
yeah,
the
he's gonna be a
Congress
plushie.
decided.
That's actually for a graphic novel. I've got a Yeti and a moon rabbit. Moon rabbit is my logo branding. In fact, I have bunnies everywhere. That's part of my Twitch
Oh,
thing is channel points. I've got a bunny hat and a 43-inch version of that bunny that rub the belly for luck and hug the bunny and put the bunny hat on and wiggle the ears and the whole nine, so they all have fun with it. But I didn't know you guys were on Twitch.
Yeah, we're on. Yeah, we
That's, Joe,
started.
that's Joe's fault.
Yeah, I'm just shotgunning. I mean, we're on 8 channels right now, so we're just shotgunning the field and seeing what we,
Yeah.
like throwing spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks.
I'm getting ready to, Brian had actually told me about StreamYard, and I also had one of my students mention Restream, which is something that I'm looking into as well.
Well, if you
But I
go
know
with,
Twitch, if you've got affiliate, you've got certain rules with reposting your content once you hit affiliate.
okay,
So I'm assuming you guys know that you can't, I guess there's some kind of a rule that you can't dual stream YouTube and Twitch once you make affiliate.
okay. Well, we've only got like 4 people that watch us on Twitch, so
5 now.
and you're supposed to have like what, several hundred?
They said, I want to say they said like 100, but
Okay.
I ended up,
We're
I had like 35,
real
I think,
low
when I
on
got
the
it.
YouTube radar.
I think I had like 35, and I've got 265, I think, now on Twitch.
I wish we had those numbers.
Let me take a look. I got more on Instagram, I think, than anywhere probably, because I've got about 1,200 on Instagram. Let me take a look.
Well,
here.
if you want to go with StreamYard, let me know, and I will give you lessons.
Okay.
Oh, Joe Dog
I
is the
podcast too.
StreamYard guru. Let me tell you.
Yeah, StreamYard looks interesting. How is the chat? Does it have stuff marked as far as like you can tell where somebody's on YouTube and somebody's on
Yes.
Facebook?
Yes.
And, okay, that's one thing that I didn't, because I stream 3 times a week on Twitch. I do 2 art streams and 1 gaming stream. And the gaming one, I tried doing the multi-stream between YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, and it was really hard to see chat because it was on 2 different tabs. So you had to, if I'm gaming, I can't switch between tabs.
Yeah.
Are you?
Bill,
Hey, Bill.
I got
Now,
second.
There we go. We finally got Bill in.
Yeah. And well, if you look over to the side, you can actually see the chat.
Uh-huh.
And if
She
you
can't.
look,
We can. She can't.
she can see the chat too.
Yeah, I can
Can
see
she?
chat.
Okay.
Yeah. You
I'm
can
not
see
even
where
logged in either.
you can see where Bill commented from YouTube and where you commented from
Okay, I see it.
Facebook.
Okay.
and if you sort of scroll up,
Yeah, it was on private chat.
Yeah,
so I didn't see it at first.
Yeah, Brian
On
actually commented from YouTube.
Okay, awesome.
And
yeah, that's super helpful.
I have to pull up my pillow. Hang on here. This is where I'm at, and look at that. I'm watching a Batman movie on.
Okay, all right. Keep panning away so I don't get a copyright strike.
Yeah, that's true.
I watched
it was only a few seconds
tonight.
Keep the camera on in case you're not wearing pants.
Tell you the truth. No, I can't say that.
Well, I can honestly say I have always streamed. Every time I have streamed on here, I've had pants on.
Yay! You adulted today.
Thank God for small miracles.
I can say that too until tonight.
Well, Lewis, I also need the extra filtration, but we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. But I have the comforter on, so I that's.
I don't believe any of y'all.
We had a very long day here, but my bestie's 86-year-old father has a house in Elk Grove Village, which is north of Chicago, and we're about 3 miles from him over in Mount Prospect at the Sheraton Inn Hotel, which is actually pretty nice. We got in about 10 o'clock tonight, and there were people down in the swimming pool swimming still.
It's warm enough.
Well, no, it's an indoor pool, but still.
So it's warm enough.
Yeah, definitely warm enough.
I'm from Florida. It's always warm enough.
And then we heard 2 loud explosions. So I call Laura, when she calls me, and I turn around, I'm like, "Did you hear those explosions?" She's like, "Yeah, I was in the shower, but I heard them. What were they?" I'm like, "I have no idea," because there was just down the road from her dad's house, there was a big carnival tonight, and seeing all the people, and it was just a beautiful night. We went from 86 degrees today and hot and sweaty to like in the lower 70s tonight, and to see the carnival lit up, and it was just gorgeous,
Fireflies were probably out too.
Well, I thought maybe it was fireworks, but I'm looking out the window, and I looked out the window when the second explosion happened, but I saw nothing, and I'm like, okay, that's a little disheartening.
Well, Lewis, did you hear the Lookouts fireworks tonight?
No.
Oh, I'm
in Rossville.
Well, I heard them good over here, so I didn't know if maybe. Well, of course, you're on the other side of the ridge too, so that may have blocked the sound.
Yeah. My son was born July 3rd, and he was born at Erlanger. And this was back when the Lookouts still played at Engel Stadium.
Across the street.
I was holding him in my arms for the first time.
Watching the fireworks?
The fireworks started going off the 7th inning stretch. And I brought him over to the window and I said, "See how the city's welcoming you?" We could actually see the fireworks. It was awesome.
Very cool.
Oh.
I think the last time I saw fireworks, we were out at Holly and Stevens Imaginarium peeps, and he celebrates his birthday around 4th of July. So we go out, and they usually have fireworks, the kids out there doing mortars and stuff. Didn't get to do it last year. Don't think we're probably going to do it this year, but I know we're actually going to be, me specifically, involved in the virtual side for Imaginarium. Not quite 100% comfortable yet with going to conventions because we had COVID in February and I tested positive for 3 months. I ain't taking any chances. We've had both vaccinations, but I also know people that had vaccinations and still got COVID. So
that was me. I had my first shot New Year's Eve. I tested positive on January 11th.
Yep.
and then got my second shot, tested positive one more time, and then 2 weeks after that, finally tested negative. So
Yeah.
I was positive for probably 5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. 3 months of not being able to go out and get my own mail was just like, nope, not
Mhm.
doing that again. And I've already
Yeah.
got immune system compromised. We're really, really blessed to have had a mild case. But yeah, it could have been a lot worse. So, and
Yeah.
we've actually known people that have died. There was one girl on Twitch that she was gone in a week. She didn't have any
Mm.
prior health conditions, and what happened to her was pretty horrific. Not like any other case that I'd heard. So it kind of makes you shell shocked a little bit. So
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's bad, and the people
Yeah.
that say, "Oh, it's just a cold," well, ask
Yeah.
the people that ever caught it how bad of a cold it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
Lewis,
Definitely.
Lewis, you've been there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was blessed. I had a mild case, but my buddy Glenn Bolin died from it.
Mm.
Mhm.
Uh, Didn't you
Condolences.
say that you and your wife had already had papers drawn up to exchange passwords?
Oh yeah, yeah. We had written down all of our passwords to give to each other in case one of us went. Made sure that we had access to all of our bank accounts, and because I mean, we split up the bill. We keep our own money. We split up the bills. She'll pay for the internet service. I'll pay for YouTube TV. She pays for one thing. I pay for the cell phones, and so we split up the expenses. But yeah, we went through all the procedures of making sure that each other knew the latest passwords and what was due when. Yeah, we were planning for it. It was
Yeah, well,
grim.
that's just smart right
That's
there.
just smart. Yeah. My
Yeah, but-
daughter with my health issues, she's been prepped for years. She's had to more than one time, grab stuff as soon as I say I'm calling 911 or whatever. She goes around and grabs keys, grabs, all that. And that's my little black book for everything. So they've got all of it.
hmm
That's a good idea.
That
I've
because
got
I
it.
don't remember any of it for minute to minute.
I've got
I
a
used to do tech support,
printout
so I
for
had
my
this
wife.
really
My wife
complicated
actually only
passwords.
has to remember one password for me because on 4 different devices I've got an encrypted file with all my passwords. So
Yep. I do the same thing,
Yeah.
and I went so far as to go ahead and print out a copy of everything
yeah.
and put it in my briefcase.
Well,
for-
our printed copies are in our safe.
Well, mine is for when we go to conventions, but Lindsay knows where everything is,
Yeah.
so she doesn't have to hunt for it. She goes, okay, Velcro pocket, front of the briefcase.
I'm making
There it
notes,
is.
Dan, next time I come over to your house.
Well,
No offense, but Rhea just showed us her darn black book. So if anybody breaks into her
Do you
house,
know how
they
many
where all the
journals
passwords are.
and black books and everything else I got in this house? Good luck finding it. If you find it, you've earned it.
hey,
In my house, if you can get past the shotgun trap,
There you
you might find the passwords.
You got to get past me with throwing spikes and knives. And
I like her already.
it was funny because I was in a medieval reenactment group for 15 years. So I taught belly dance for 13 years and I fought heavy weapons. So, and I did 7 years of fencing prior to that.
No shurikens.
Oh,
So
we gotta get her
blades are
one.
my thing. So, not
You
to
know Nick
mention,
Tockert?
huh?
You know Nick Tockert?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's an
Sounds
all-
familiar.
You will.
Yeah, he's a
Where's
frequent
Nick
viewer
when we
and
need him? Okay.
sometimes participant, and he
I sent
he
him an
loves
invite.
bladed weapons.
Oh, I'm a blade girl all the way, and it was funny
Oh,
because my ex and I had
Bladed weapons.
my ex and I used to have the argument all the time. When my daughter was little, he wanted to have guns in the house, and I'm thinking, okay, if she's anything like me, she's going to be Houdini. Second of all, My big fat white butt is not going to be able to stealth down the hall, get the gun out of the safe, load the gun, and she's in Tijuana. And he's like, well, I'll just get you a shotgun. You can just aim down the hall. And I'm like, if somebody has my daughter, I want a laser sight because I'm taking his head off his shoulders. And I am not above putting a light wound in my daughter's leg to make her drop, although she already knows to do that. We've already been through the training for that. I'd rather have her there and stay there than, you know, I had too many friends that were military growing up.
That's why I have
arts.
cats. I don't even need a laser sight on the pistol. I just need just one of those little laser toys. Put it on them. The cats go, wah!
Well, my
There
wife
you go.
has a Mossberg 500.
Nice.
And I told her, I said, you know, you're a pretty good shot, but you'll never have to fire around because once you rack one in on a shotgun,
The
you know,
noise
a burglar will
alone was
defecate
scary.
himself and leave a trail.
I want Zoe's gun. I run the Kentucky Browncoats, so Firefly.
Okay.
Oh.
And
Buy those.
I want
at
Zoe's
Sportsman's Warehouse.
mare's leg.
Rossi makes a mare's leg. You can
Ooh.
buy them at Sportsman's Warehouse.
Now
You
you're
just got to decide what caliber you want it in.
talking. I always liked, I grew up, for some reason, I had a thing for Glocks, and I have a feeling it has to do with Tomb Raider, admittedly.
Really?
But I always wanted a match set of Glocks.
Well,
But,
let me tell you a little something though.
Yeah.
I had to carry a Glock with the Bradley County Sheriff's Department. I don't like them
Yeah.
simply because of the plastic receiver.
Yeah.
We had 17 round clips, mags. Every shot, the center of gravity on that weapon changes. So I've opted for a Beretta simply
Yeah.
because it's all
Berettas
metal
are good.
and
That is-
first round
that
to
is one of the
last.
problems.
It's a
That is one
consistent
of the
center of
problems.
Yeah,
gravity.
Berettas are good. I was just,
That
I
is one
think,
of the
like I said, I
problems
think it was
I
the
like
Tomb
with
Raider
weapons.
thing.
Yeah, you know, the Glocks look cool.
Back
but,
when I had the body, I could actually cosplay her.
I could never fire better than sharpshooter with a Glock, and I fire expert with the Beretta.
Nice.
That is one nice thing about a Beretta is I didn't like it. It's a little longer and it feels a little front heavy to me, but because it's a little bit longer, it's easier to aim. You get a little bit.
Yeah,
It has a better sight relief, which is
Mhm.
the distance between the front sight and the rear sight. Which the farther your sight relief is, the better you can aim.
yeah.
Yeah,
Glocks
I haven't
have
been
a
to a gun
fairly
range
short
in
sight relief, not
years.
horribly, but
That's why
I'd
I
have
like
to
my
play
Desert
around before
Eagle
I got one.
44 Magnum. If you can cover it up with a sight, it no longer exists once you pull the trigger.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I just like to get I used to have a 62-inch black recurve bow. I'd gotten it at one of the wars. SCA has a war called Penzic in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
15,000 of your
lots of
best
people that
friends
go.
for 2 weeks. And I bought a Yumi bow, or I got gifted a Yumi bow. He had a 110-pound pole.
Oh
He
my
was not a man
goodness.
you wanted to get on the wrong side
Wow.
of. And he had one that a doctor had bought off of him. And then the doctor ended up having a 110-pound pole and got rid of this one. And it was a 35-pound pole, 62-inch black recurve. Handmade bow, beautiful bow. But I'd love to get another recurve and have something like that. My daughter's got a compound bow, so she's always at the ready if somebody starts banging on our door and it's not us. I was like, don't put a hole in anybody, please, before I get home.
have you ever seen the internet meme where the guy goes, apparently somebody breaks into his house and it turns out he's a Viking, and he grabs his axe and he yells down the stairwell, Odin has gifted us a worthy sacrifice.
That sounds like some crap we'd do with the Jehovah's Witnesses at the door. We used to do stuff like that. Oh my gosh. I love Scandinavian culture. I'm actually attempting to learn Swedish because I have a friend of mine that lives in Stockholm that I talk to on a regular basis. And Norse has always been a thing for me. My husband's the linguist in the family. He's 20 years fluent in classical Latin and can learn. He was trying to learn 3 languages at the same time when we were supposed to go to Europe back in 2013. I told him, don't make me Google you, and you have to learn something sweet to say to me in all the languages you're trying to learn. Because he was doing repetitive stuff around the house all the time, and I could tell. I was like, no, that's Italian. Okay, that's German. That's Swedish. That's Italian again. And so he was swapping back and forth.
Q ABBA, Joe Dog. Q
I
ABBA.
love the sound.
Nope, can't.
But I love the sound of the language, especially like Old Norse.
That would be a definite copyright strike, Bill.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, you
But
were
I would
talking-
definitely be screaming coming down the hall. In fact, I'm working on. I've got my hair is mostly white, and I've got the
is that-
sides shaved, and it's got a white. I've got a kind of a mohawk almost going. So I'm going for the Lagatha hairstyle. I'm gonna do the braids and everything, do the whole Viking thing. My daughter and I are both doing it.
Now, y'all were talking about messing with the Jehovah Witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt is a Dominican nun,
Oh wow.
and she was over visiting, and the Jehovah Witnesses showed up. So we let her answer the door.
I want video of that if that ever happens again. I actually used to invite them in, and we would carry on because I'm Christian-based pagan, so I can talk enough on both sides. I'm too Christian for the pagans, too pagan for the Christians. I'm basically just an eclectic, open-minded Christian.
Yeah.
And I'd invite them in. They started bringing me books that weren't even Jehovah's Witness published stuff. They were bringing, they found out that I had an interest in multicultural and multi-religious research for my artwork and for my writing. And so they started bringing me reference books, some of the best books I've got over the years. But yeah, have some interesting conversations.
I worked with some one time, and one of them, he was pounding me hard trying to get get me to fall.
New tactic.
Yeah. He was just constantly. And finally I turned and I said, let me get this right. You said only 144,000 are getting into heaven, right? And they go, yeah. And I said, you've already said there's 2 or 3 million worldwide. He says, yeah. I said, well, in the Christian faith, if you believe you're in, I'm going to go with them. I like the odds a little better.
Yeah.
Not even all Jehovah's Witnesses are expecting to go to heaven.
Yeah.
I had a pet python. I was sitting on the couch watching TV. Python was wrapped around my neck. Okay. Doorbell rings. Go to the door. It's the Jehovah's Witnesses.
I'm going to hate to miss this, but I'll be right back.
First one
The beer's running through.
disappears. Okay. The first Jehovah's Witness is gone. I'm pretty sure he smoked tires on a bicycle. The second one, I'll give him credit. He hung around and told me and tried to hand me their little literature. And it's a little white piece of paper. He went to hand me the literature. Snake saw it and went after it. and that was it. He was gone too. So it was me, a snake, and a piece of literature.
Did you have
The
a ball
Jehovah's
or a Burmese?
The Burmese.
Burmese.
Jehovah's Witnesses never came back to that house again. Ever.
Did you have any little stickers on your mailbox? Because if you have a
No.
mailbox out by the road, they
Oh,
put
the
these little colored dot stickers. And I was like, okay, I want the color code because I want to find out the don't stop here, this person's scary one, and just
I can tell
just
you
chicken
which
chock
house
them all
it
down
was.
the side of the mailbox and watch
guy who
somebody
owned
coming
that
by
house-
taking a look and going, whoa, okay.
The guy who owned that house owned it for 7 years after I did that. Never saw a Jehovah's Witness.
That's funny.
when he moved to Nashville, he said, "Do you still have that snake?" No, I don't have that snake anymore. Sorry.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh,
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I believe it.
When I used to bartend, it was we'd put on the "It's closing time" music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah. Anna or Rhea, you are going to love our outro.
Uh-oh.
No, you will. You're our age.
You're our age. It will bring back memories.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm ready.
God, I remember that.
I'm ready.
I don't know if you've ever seen our intro. Our intro starts with static, like the TV,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes into the national anthem. And
I
then,
remember those days.
yes,
Where it was
You're
shut
gonna
off at
remember
midnight.
the outro, okay?
yes.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, we appreciate it.
You're welcome
Yeah.
anytime.
We can get her on the show
And-
again. Something purposeful.
Just
Oh yeah.
link me because my brain don't go in
Selling
one area or
stuff.
the other. I won't remember.
We need
Uh,
to
Joe
get back
Dog,
here selling
Joe
stuff.
Dog, the outro is going to have special meaning for me tonight because me and Laura drove around O'Hare Airport watching
Oh.
airplanes land.
Oh, okay.
They do that a lot at O'Hare Airport.
About every
Why? I don't know why, but we like seeing them.
yeah. Around O'Hare, they land what about every minute?
At least.
Close.
Now,
Yeah.
Atlanta
When
Hartsfield.
I worked for the airlines, I used to avoid Chicago.
Yeah. Atlanta Hartsfield, it's every 45 seconds.
well, when we was at her dad's house in Elk Grove Village, the planes were literally going over his yard. Probably every 10 or 15 minutes, we'd see one. And I kept looking up, and then eventually Laura would say, "Oh, after a while, you won't even look up anymore." And I'm like, "Oh, yes, I will."
All right.
My mom lives in the flight path for Level Field. So
Mm.
all night, all the
Oh, wow.
kids are in the backyard going, "Airplane!"
All right, everybody. It is that time. It is time to say good night, everybody.
Good night,
So,
everybody.
Good night.
so I
No.
Oh, I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.